Hello there, and welcome to another week of weekly psychic review. So, hope you've had a good week, and thanks for joining me. So, yeah, we're doing this from the 14th of October to the 20th of October, the Monday to the Sunday. Okay, so how I work is I call in my spirit guides, or those that love me in spirit, ask them to give you exactly what you need for the upcoming week. Give you the healing that you require, and any tips, techniques, practices, different things that might help you out either this week or into the future as well. So just give me a minute, I'll just seal off, tune in, and we'll get straight into the weekly review. Alright, this is a funny one. This kind of caught me off guard a little bit. They're talking about your identity and about how you actually see yourself. And that they're saying that there's quite a lot of aspects in, well, they're saying everyone, including myself, that they think about themselves that aren't actually true. Now, these kinds of aspects have come in from influences, peers that we've had, friends, partners, that sort of thing, from family, from people that we work with, or people that we have worked with. And yeah, they're saying quite a lot of it was in the schoolyard as well, which is interesting. So they're saying, what with your identity and that sort of thing, there's a lot of things that people might have said to you, oh, you're this, oh, you're that sort of thing. Now they're saying there could be elements of this that are true, and there could have been elements of this that were true at the time that they said that, but what those people were saying was a reflection of what was actually happening for them at that time. Now this goes for your parents or your caregivers, anyone that you saw as an authority when you grew up. And they're saying, I was going to say up to about the age of seven, but they're saying, no, this goes up to about 12, 13, actually, which I've never heard before. So they're saying that this is, it's like the post-development time. And that sort of thing, when we're still creating our identity, and when you want to, after that time, when you want to sort of try different things to find out who you are. So the reason why we're talking about this is because they want you to really start to look at yourself through kinder eyes. Okay, I was giggling then because I could hear, look at yourself through rose-coloured glasses. So that's, it's really about, they're saying, that feeling when you meet someone and you fall in love, when you're in love. Everything is fabulous, everything is wonderful, nothing can bring you down, it doesn't matter, things just brush off you, and that sort of thing. Now they're saying, you might think that this is a state that you cannot be in all the time, and well, that's not totally true, but yeah, most likely in reality, it's a bit hard to be in that state of being completely in love with absolutely everything at all times. That's pretty damn difficult to achieve. But what you can do when you think about yourself during this week, or they're saying actually over the next coming weeks, when you think about your identity, you start to sort of, renegotiate with yourself and to be objective about what you think your identity is and who you think you are as a person. They're saying just give it a try. Look at yourself and look at your identity through rose-coloured glasses. Now, what does that actually do to you? And they're saying, well, we look at you like this all the time. We look at you through the eyes of being completely in love with you at all times. And that's not to say that we're misleaded or misguided, or without we're not seeing the truth, because they're giggling, saying we see the truth in you at all times. we see what is truth, we see what is not truth, and we see the reality of actually what's happening at all times, and the influences and the significance around this. Okay, so getting back to what we were talking about, so it's about, you know, looking at yourself, just being completely unconditional. And when you're in that stage, now this exercise is because when you're in that stage, you're very forgiving, you're very empathetic, you're very loving, compassionate, you know, and you're easily able to see things with a more open-minded view, a more sort of expansive state of view, instead of from the sort of identity of the box or the constraints or structure in which, you know, you do view things. And they're saying, look, everyone has that to a point. We're not just saying that about a few people. David has that, everybody has that. We all have a certain structure that we look through. So they're saying, you know, try that first, and there's going to be, yeah, there is going to be some more of that over the next coming weeks, the next month or two, they're saying. But go with that first and just see what happens. Just be observant about what changes that is going to make, or what differences you can see in that. Okay, let me get on with the weekly review. Okay, so the start of the week is about, they're saying, okay, if you were to just let things go for the start of the week, what's going to happen with that? So they're saying that's not about ignoring the feelings, it's not about ignoring the emotions or anything like that, but that's about, hey, if shit happens, go, okay, shit happens, you know, and just get on with your day, just get on with the groove. How is that going to change things for you? And they say just try and experiment with this and just see what happens and what feelings accompany these. And they're saying that, you know, when these feelings pop up in regards to doing this exercise, oh, okay, stuff happened, it's like, okay, how can I move through this? They're saying, how can you move through this? Actually, you can just relax, you can release, you can surrender, you go, okay, I'll just keep going on with my day. And that sort of thing. At the same time, acknowledge those feelings. And they're saying when these feelings arise, just make a mental note of them. Okay, so for the middle of the week, what's for the middle of the week? All right, so this is about attachment. So they're talking about, you know, be aware of what you're attached to. Be aware of what you're not attached to. Now, when you're aware of these attachments and all these non-attachments, what does that do for you? How does that change you? And what sort of feelings accompany these attachments? What's actually going on around there? And then if you're going, oh, I'm getting a bit of attached to this, now how can I'm going to step back, I'm going to surrender, I'm going to let go. What actually happens in that? So they're saying this is just about being observant and just checking it out. Okay, so for the end of the week, what's at the end of the week? Okay. Okay, alright, so, alright, just have a big breath there because I could feel a lot of energy coming in, a lot of healing taking place, massive amount of healing taking place actually, not just for you out there but for me as well during this, so really cool stuff. Okay, so, alright, so towards the end of the week they're saying, now, if you followed these practices and you've tried, just try your best, just do your best. If you followed this, what happens at the end of the week? What's happened during that week, and where are you up to at the end of the week? Now, this week it might be a bit difficult for some people because they might actually go, shit, sorry, I keep swearing. They might go, wow, okay, look at this. Like, you know, I've had these feelings that have come up within me. I didn't even realise that they were there, you know. Other people are going to go, yeah, wow, I did feel these things. You know, they must be inside of me, or they must be going on. Or I was able to be, you know, objective. I was able to be very forgiving. I was able to see myself in a different light. Now, how has that changed you? What's actually gone on for this week? And they're saying this is all about choice, because what we're setting up this week is for you to really start to recognize and acknowledge that the choices that you create, you make during your day, during your week, they're going to colour what is around you. They're going to colour the experiences around you, and they're actually going to colour what you take in from you. So they're saying too about, you know, with some of these patterns and programs about your identity, you might actually realise towards the end of the week, they might actually go, actually, this happened, and I was just about to say this phrase. Actually, I remember my mum used to say this, or, you know, the teacher at school used to say this, or, you know, one of my brothers or sisters did, or, you know, somebody of significance in my life when I was younger. And it's that thing about, okay, well, you know, now that you realise this, is this something you want to keep carrying on? Is this something that you want to do? So, you know, and this is about, you know, not being too intense about it, but just having awareness about it. They're saying this all starts with awareness. And the changing of the identity or that program that you've been running off, you know, this is something that once you start and you put the intent out there, I actually want to do this, they're saying that's the biggest thing you can do. Then it's about grooving along with it, and it's about taking action, about your choices and that sort of stuff. They're telling me it's about time for the end of the reading, okay? Because otherwise I'll just keep going and going, as a few of you know. Okay, so I'll just check if there's anything else. Alright, they're saying, look, with all this stuff that's come through, just be good to yourself about this, and just be very kind, you know, remember the rose-coloured glasses. Okay, so I just want to thank you all for joining me this week. Really cool, and thank you everyone for all your comments, all your feedback. I love hearing that stuff. It's absolutely fantastic. So it really, it's really cool to know that I'm able to assist people with this and give people some help throughout their week. And at the same time, hey, I help myself as well. I give myself advice. They're telling me to finish this. Okay, so if you want a session with me, give me a yell. All my details are there. I do counselling, reading, healing, meditation groups, mentoring, retreats, workshops, lots of stuff. Give me a call and lots more stuff. Give me a call. Thanks for joining me. Namaste. Big love to you. Thank you.